Hello students. So today the question that we have with us is that a poultry farmer wants to increase his broiler production. So we need to explain three management practices that we can follow to enhance the yield, and in what ways is the daily food requirement of broilers are different from those of egg layers. Okay. Now in both the questions we need to basically talking about the poultry farming. Okay, because the question that we are talking about here is actually related to the poultry farming as say this poultry farming is actually involved the broilers and the what you can say layers. Now first you need to understand what are broilers and what are layers, like why we grow them, okay, or farm them. So broilers are something or the chicken that we tend to farm for the meat production, okay, and layers are something which we utilize for the egg production. So that is the role that they play. So in layers particularly, we are utilizing the hens, the female chicken, I can say. In broilers, there is no specific criteria of the gender. We just utilize them for the meat. So now you understand why we are targeting the broiler and for which perspective. And then what I can say here is about the uh, uh, difference in their food diet as well. So now if I talk about three management practices to increase broiler production, so uh, we need to take care of the thinking in order to get the good quality of the meat. So we need to make sure that maintenance of the temperature, because now we are talking about meat which leads to the good quality of protein, and protein is very sensitive to the temperature. So neither very low temperature nor very high temperature. Okay, it has to be properly maintained, which is required by the chickens or the broilers, I can say. So maintenance of temperature is one. The provision of hygienic condition in housing and the poultry feed is second point. That means wherever you are trying to farm them, you have to make sure that there is no diseases are there is no microorganisms unnecessary has to be there. The feed that are given to them has good quality of feed as well. Okay, and the prevention and the control of diseases and the pest as well, which is already I told you, because you are producing them for the meat, and all of these things has to be good because this is something which has to be consumed by the humans. Now if they have diseases, if they have unhygienic conditions, so obviously that will be directly damaging us. Okay, now we need to talk about their daily food requirement. That means how their diets are different, like broilers and layers, because again broilers are grown for their meat, layers are grown for their egg. So when you talk about broilers, you need to provide the diet which is rich in protein, obviously, fat and vitamin A and vitamin K. The reason is that such feed which actually help them in the good growth rate and to develop more muscles and to maintain feathering and the carcass quality. That means again the whole point is to utilize them for the meat. So all of these things are actually very important when you try to build good mass, when you try to build good quality muscles, so that once they are consumed the taste has to be good. So all of these products are given to the broilers in their diet, so that their growth rate has to be good as well, because usually what happen is the broilers grow very fast comparatively to the layers. Layers will take a lot of time because they has to reach the productive age, then they keep on laying the eggs to a certain point of time. So their whole utilization is completely different. They both require the proper care, but the layer requires enough space and the adequate light, because light intensity has a favorable effect on the laying output of hens, because these are birds which are depend on the seasonal basis of their breeding season, I can say. Okay, so and that seasonal basis is the environmental condition. So you have to provide the environmental condition in such a way which is like having the enough space first of all and the adequate light which can actually give them the environmental stimuli. Now, broilers are given protein-rich food, as I already told you, whereas they also get the adequate amount of fat and vitamin. Whereas the layers are given comparatively poor quality of feed, though they are getting the same thing, but comparatively poor means the amount and the proportion of the feed is not as good and as much as the broilers. Okay, because again, all the energy has to be invested just for the egg production. And again, the temperature regulation is not required, but they are given plenty of light, which is for the layers. Layers will get enough light but not temperature as such, because again you are not consuming them at all. So protein will be there. It's not like proteins are not there. It's just the quality of the protein is something which we haven't, which we need not to take care of. It's just the eggs once we are getting has to be good quality, which is like completely opposite when you talk about the broilers. I hope this answer will help you. Thank you.